to the Parable of the Vineyard Torah portion live study. My name is Adam, your host. We know that the Most High has called a people out of slumber into belief in His Son, Messiah YHWH, and to walk as He walked, obedient to the commandments. Join us as we study the Torah line by line so that we may fellowship together, grow, edify, train, and prepare the body of Messiah, the children of Israel, for the return of Messiah YHWH, to be with Him forevermore. O Yahuwah, open Thou mine eyes, that I may behold wondrous things out of Thy Torah. And welcome, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Parable of the Vineyard YouTube Torah portion. That's a mouthful. I apologize. But welcome. This is exciting. This is week one. We're starting the cycle back over. And so this is week one. And basically, for those of you that have been following along, we started kind of somewhere around the book of Numbers this year. And so now we get to start all over, and we get to go all the way through. So welcome. Welcome. I'm excited to go through this portion with you, and I'm so. I wish this one would have been broken up into 2 or 3 because, man, there's so much here going from Genesis chapter 1 to Genesis chapter 6, going from the very creation all the way to the fallen angels. And a lot of you know that I could probably talk about the fallen angels for a couple hours alone. So we'll just see how it goes. So. In any case, without further ado, let's just do a quick prayer. And as our recently departed brother Alan would say, let's bow our hearts. Oh, Yahweh, in Yeshua's mighty name, we come before you as brothers and sisters that eagerly wanting to devour your meal, that is the scriptures, the Torah, that we may grow thereby and try to understand your ways more and more each day and to be more like Messiah Yeshua each and every day, and less like the world. So as the scripture says, we pray that you open our ears and our eyes to these scriptures that we may grow thereby and show us the wondrous things out of your law, as it says. So we bless you in Yeshua's mighty, mighty Kodesh name. Amen. Okay, so Genesis chapter 1. Let's do this. Let me go ahead and pull it up. And we will be reading through the CEPHER version now. I will say, you guys know the CEPHER is my favorite version, but there's a couple translations I don't really agree with here on the very first page. So we might dig a little bit into it, look at the actual Hebrew word here and there, but for the most part, it is what it is. So let's get this going. And here we are, Genesis chapter 1, the creation of the world. In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. Now, I've got to stop here already. I meant to have something pulled up for you. We're not going to go over it today just for time's sake. I can't stand that commercial that they have going on right now. This video right here, I got to tell you, the first 10 minutes will absolutely blow you away. And, I haven't looked to see if Brother Alan has a teaching on this. If someone's in the chat that is familiar with one of Brother Alan Horvath's teachings on this, but just the word beginning, it reveals everything. It reveals Messiah. It reveals everything. The rest of this video, the first 10 minutes, I agree with. The rest of this video makes a lot of assumptions based off numbers, and I'm not a big number guy. So I don't know about the prophecy, but the first 10 minutes goes over just the word Bereshit, which means in the beginning. So if you get a chance, check this out. Really, really interesting study. So, but again, the rest of it, I would go with caution because again, they make a lot of assumptions based off, this letter means this many numbers, and because of this many numbers, we're gonna say this. So I'm not all the way there, but again, the first 10 minutes, check this out. It's amazing. So in the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Ruach Elohim moved upon the face of the waters. And Elohim said, "Let there be light." And there was light. So what was this light? Because we don't see the creation of the sun, moon, and stars until day 4. So what is this light? I would venture to say this is where the law came in. For the commandment is a lamp. This is Proverbs 6:23. The commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. We also know that Messiah, Yeshua, is also the light, but we know he wasn't a created being. This is actually Yeshua saying this. Yeshua is saying, "Let there be light." We know that all things were created by Yeshua, through Yeshua. So this isn't Yeshua being created. This is him actually creating the light. So was the very first thing he created the Torah? Well, I believe so. Genesis 1:4, and Elohim saw the light, that it was good, and Elohim divided the light from the darkness. We know that anything void of light is inherently darkness. We know that Yeshua also said, "He is that is not with me is against me." That's just a line in the sand that he draws. And it's the same thing that the Torah draws. The Torah just draws a line in the sand, period. Verse 5, and Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. And you know what? This just reminds me of something Paul said. Oops, I can't even spell. It reminds me of something Paul said in 1 Thessalonians 5. Let's just look at a couple verses behind just in case. Here we go. This is 1 Thessalonians 5, starting at verse 4. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all children of the light and children of the day. So Paul knew this. Paul knew the story of the creation. And Elohim called the light day. And so Paul makes that very good connection. Ye are all the children of the light and children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Let's just keep reading. Therefore, let us not sleep as others do, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken in the night. But let us, who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation. For Elohim hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Adon, Yeshua HaMashiach. Thank you, Paul. So again, Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and evening and the morning were the first day. And this brings up a whole other topic. We could talk about this for an hour. There's a lot of back and forth out there in the called out assembly land that, does the day start at sunrise or sunset? And honestly, you can look at this verse either way, because and I'll show you both sides. And the evening and the morning were the first day. So basically you're saying, okay, the night, then the darkness, then the light, and then that's the first day, which I'm personally a sunset to sunset guy, but I'm still searching the matter out. I'm not closed-minded on this. Here's what they say, is Elohim, Yeshua, did all this work during the day, right? And then the day was over, and then you had the evening, and then the morning, and that was the first day. So you can really take the same verse and look at it both ways. I tend to look at it from a bird's eye view. And, for a lot of us, we were in darkness and brought into light. And Peter says this, into his marvelous light. And Peter says this pretty well. But 1 Peter 2:9, but you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a set-apart Kodesh nation, his own special people, that you may proclaim the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. So something to think about there. But, this isn't something I'm teaching right now, so it is what it is. I'm currently on the evening to evening camp right now, but still searching the matter out. All right, let's keep going. Verse 6, and Elohim said, let there be an expanse, and this is where I differ with the CEPHER. The word is firmament. We're going to look at that in a second. Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And Elohim made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. It was so. So, I got to ask you, let's take a look at something here. Here we go. So let's, when you look at something like this, where do you get the waters from the waters? We know the waters down here, but where are the waters above? And, we can't say, oh, well, maybe just bad interpretation or, Moses just didn't know at that time. Come on. Is Moses a liar? Is the Most High a liar? No. Well, reason being is we've been lied to about a lot of things. And, this is one of them. Let me pull up a good size one. And some of you may be going, oh, goodness, Adam's one of those guys too. Listen, the scripture says what it says. And so this is what I believe we live in. See this hard structure here, the firmament? You've got the waters above and the waters below. This is what people believed for thousands of years until the 1500s when the Jesuit priests came up with this new theory. And they pushed it through Copernicus and Kepler and all these ancient Freemasons. So this is what I believe Yeshua HaMashiach made. People say this is not important. I beg to differ. Otherwise, he wouldn't write about it. So let's look at firmament actually. So here we are. And Elohim said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. So again, in the middle of the waters. And, actually, before we go further, Peter said the same thing. I have to Google the passage. Where is the promise of his coming? Here we go. 2 Peter 3, 4 through 6. And saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. And so he's talking about the creation now, right? For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Elohim, the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that was then was being overflowed with water, perished. It's Peter knew. Are we smarter than Peter? No. So firmament, what does that word mean? It's rakia. Strong's 7549, rakia. And what does it translate to? 17 times, the firmament. Extended surface, solid, expanse, firmament. Expanse, flat as base, support. Firmament of vault of heaven supporting the waters above. Considered by Hebrews as solid and supporting waters above. Brothers and sisters, we've been lied to. Let's move on. And Elohim called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And Elohim said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And Elohim called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. I mean, we don't even think of the majesty of what he created for us, and the miracle of a seed, and just the unfailing table that he's provided for us. That is, until, these end times where things will be destroyed and that changes. But verse 12, and the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And Elohim said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for appointed feasts, seasons, that's better, for appointed feasts, and for days, and for years. So this is how we calculate these things. Calendar is another thing I'm not going to get into right now. We can go on that for easily an hour. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens to give light upon the earth. And it was so. So remember how in the very beginning he created light, and it separated the light from the darkness? Well, again, we see here, it wasn't until later that the sun and moon were created, and stars. Verse 16, and Elohim made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And Elohim set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And Elohim said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And Elohim created great sea monsters, and every living creature that moves, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let the fowl multiply in the earth. And this is something that was transgressed in Noah's days. We read in Jasher that, I think it was even before Noah's days. But the men would no longer have any interest in their women after they started bearing children, because, we know the bodies change and whatnot. So they were drinking this concoction that would make them barren. And all those women that were barren were reverenced by their men, and the childbearing women were looked at as an abomination in their sight. And it said specifically in there that they transgressed this commandment to be fruitful and multiply. And, that still rings true today. And unfortunately, the youth is so convinced, starting at my generation and younger. I'm 82, so I'm at the spearhead of that millennial generation. But starting at my generation and younger, they're fully convinced that it's better to not have children, and to have more freedom to do whatever you want. And it's like, it's the very basic commandment. No, I'm sorry. This is for animals: be fruitful and multiply. But we'll see that the same commandment comes for men and women as well. It's our duty. And I know things happen. I know everyone out there doesn't have children, and everybody has I'm sure a good reason for it if they don't. But if we can, in the opportunity, we should be fruitful and multiply. We also saw that Yeshua said that some were called to be eunuchs. And he said that everybody can't accept that. Paul said it too. Paul's like, I wish that everyone was like me, but so you don't burn, go ahead and marry. I was like, what, Paul? What about be fruitful and multiply? So, but anyways, when it comes to having an unbelieving spouse, I get it. I get it. Genesis 1:23. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And Elohim said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And Elohim made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creeps upon the earth after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. Amen. Amen. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. So what I used to think was, this is the Father saying, hey, come here, son. Come here, son Yeshua. Let's make man after our image. But no, everything was made by Yeshua. Yeshua is saying, come, let us make man in our image, Father, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea. I don't know why. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. He made all these things for us. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm getting emotional about this, but it's like, man, all this was made for us. For his own glory, but he made this all for us. For us to have dominion over these things, not to rule it with a cruel hand. He's just such a righteous Elohim. And all his works are magnificent. Do we take time? Do we take time to just look around at what he's made for us? I mean, prior to like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't care about what the trees looked like. I didn't care about the season changes and the leaves turning different colors and then falling and then the spring coming around and seeing that little shoot come out, and just so amazing. The different colors of birds. I mean, if you can't look at like a blue jay or a cardinal and just see the artistry and the magnificence of our Father, and it just kills me that schools teach the garbage that they do and take his glory away. But I'm just so thankful that he showed us the truth, and he said that he put it in our mouth in Isaiah to declare the former things. These are the former things. It's been hidden. Just these basic things have been hidden. So Elohim created man. Sorry, give me a second. So Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him. Male and female created he them. If even this is being trampled upon these days, brothers and sisters. Teaching children that they can change this, male to female, or having no gender, or being transgender, or... I mean, just look at how much is transgressed in this very first page of the scriptures. Everything. How things were created, how the animals came about, how the, birds came about. The stories that they concoct are so ridiculous. That we evolved from apes. What a shame. And Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said unto them, be fruitful. See, here's the command. Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. And Elohim said, behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for food. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creeps upon the earth wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for food, and it was so. And Elohim saw that everything he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. So, excuse me, sorry. He says it right here. He's given us everything that we need. For those of you that joined us on the Jubilee study, we saw that the attacks on men, come through the departed spirits of these giants, what people call demons. And Yahuwah said that every cure for them was in his herbs, and he taught Noah all the cures for all these diseases and whatnot. I fully believe that it's all there. I think all this stuff has been hidden from us. We're waking up. We're waking up to these things, and you know, I've got a few things to say about pharmakia, something that's been put on my heart to study recently. You know, even as of a few months ago, I was taking ibuprofen, and I got so convicted the last time I took it. And I was thinking about those verses, you know, in Revelation 22:15. It says that people that you know, partake in pharmakia will be outside the city gates. You know, what do you do with that? And by the way, in no way, shape, or form am I giving anybody any medical advice. I'm not qualified to do so. All I'm saying is that there's something about man-made medicine, pharmakia. Do a word study for yourself. Look it up. But, you know, for people that are, you know, dependent on it, what's the root cause? Why are we dependent on it? For example, my father-in-law, he recently got off diabetes medication. Why? Because he got to the root problem. He was obese, and he lost like 60 pounds. Guess what? He didn't need it anymore. You know, so a lot of these medications are a cover-up for our lifestyles. So I'm going to be studying pharmakia a little bit more. And again, I'm not giving no medical advice to anybody, but, you know, can you get off pharmakia right now? Can you? Because remember, this is the temple. This is the temple of the Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh. It's the Holy of Holies. Why are we putting this garbage in our bodies? Why are we gluttonous? Why are we huge? Why are we stuffing our faces? I know we've been taught and trained. Listen, I've been I was fat for many years of my life. I get it. I know. But now's the time. Now's the time. And we're gonna have some accountability for those of you that want to make some changes. We're gonna start having some accountability, maybe some weekly accountability sessions. But you know, just I want you guys to start thinking about that. If you're currently on medication, and you know, it's to say, is every medication bad? And this is where I'm very unlearned. Is every medication bad? You know, what about penicillin? You take mold and you ferment it and you get penicillin. Is that bad? Is that inherently bad? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I'm way off base. Maybe there's a lot more to it than that. But like, where do you draw the line? I don't know. And that's why I'm saying I'm no medical profession. I'm no teacher on this subject. But when I read what the New Testament says about pharmakia, and we see what pharmakia is doing in these last days, ooh. Listen, the watchman's call. If it's put on my heart and I don't say something, blood's on my hand. That ain't gonna happen. All right. So, long story short, and a lot of people, and just side note, a lot of people use these verses for veganism. Remember, this is before the fall. This is before they left their those whatever bodies they had beforehand and got into the mortal state that they became into. You know, we see evidence. While I don't partake in meat these days myself, it's a folly to teach somebody that they can't eat meat. It's I think even Paul talks about it. But you know, to each their own. But to teach somebody that it's against the Torah to eat meat is just, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Especially in Deuteronomy, it says, if you crave meat, eat meat. You know, it's like, oh my goodness, he fed him quail. It's like, come on, stop. So anyways, by the way, brothers and sisters, I don't know, how long have I been going? Only 30 minutes. We've got 5 more chapters to go through. I'm not going to make it. I am a mess right now. One day I'll tell you guys about my disease, give you my testimony about it. But for now, I'm going to keep it private. But I was in bed for about like 10 days with this and just utter pain. And while today I feel a lot better, and yesterday I felt a little better, I'm really worn out. So what I think I'm going to do is maybe go through, and this gives me more time to really talk about Genesis 6, which really like to do. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to do a 2-part series here with week 1. let's go through the end of chapter 3, and then someday this week, maybe Wednesday, either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, I'll make an announcement. We're going to do the second half. We're going to do chapters 4, 5, and 6, because I can tell you right now, I'm hurting, and I'm not going to make it. So we're going to go through chapter 2 and 3, and then we'll finish this up for tonight, and I need to go lay down. I'm sorry to be weak, but I'll tell you guys about my testimony one day. This disease is part of my testimony. Genesis 2. The seventh day, Elohim rests. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day, Elohim ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Elohim blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he rested from all his work which Elohim created and made. And this brings up again a lot of contentions about the calendar, and people will say, oh, you're doing Saturday or seventh day Sabbath. You're wrong because it's on the Gregorian calendar. Listen. The first day has always been the first day. The seventh day has always been the seventh day. That hasn't changed. The papacy has not been able to change what Saturday is and what Sunday is. What they have been able to do is change the day of worship to Sunday, and that's why you have Sunday worship and all those kind of things. For those that, I won't even talk about it. But listen. You look up. Let's see. I'll tell you. Oh yeah, you look up the name for Saturday in like 200 different languages. It's all based off of the root word Sabbath. I mean, like for example, Spanish sábado. That's Sabbath. So, anyways, it is what it is. The creation of man and woman. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth when they were created. In the day that Yahweh Elohim. This, by the way, this is the first time that Yahweh's name comes out. That Yahweh Elohim made the earth and the heavens. And, even though we know that it was Yeshua that did it, it said all things were made through him. Well, Yahweh always gets the glory. Look at Yeshua's entire ministry. Everything he did, he gave glory to the Father. That's how it works. Verse 5. Oh yeah, so this is the first time the Kodesh name of Yahweh Elohim, comes in the picture. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For Yahweh Elohim had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. And Yahweh Elohim formed the man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And the man became a living soul. I don't know why the CEPHER version doesn't say Adam, but it's okay. It's okay. And Yahweh Elohim planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made Yahweh Elohim to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into four heads. We know what river this is, right? The river of Chai, the river of life. And then it parted out into four heads. The name of the first is Pishon. That is, you know what? Which one is this one? I should know this one. Genesis 2:11. Yeah, Pison. Okay, that's right. Pison. All right. Pishon. That is, which encompasses the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. And there is Delim and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasses the whole land of Cush, Ethiopia. And the name of the third river is Chedekel. That is, which goes toward the east of Ashur. And the fourth river is Perath. Euphrates? Yeah, Euphrates. Okay. And Yahweh Elohim took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to guard it. And Yahweh Elohim commanded he man, saying, Of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat of it. For in the day that you eat thereof you shall surely die. So here's the very first commandment to man. And we'll see what Satan does to trick. I know. There's no suspense here. I know you all know what happens, but work with me here. And Yahweh Elohim said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him." And out of the ground Yahweh Elohim formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto the man to see what he would call them. And whatsoever the man called every living creature, that was the name thereof. Can you imagine that? Like all these animals lining up to Adam. And he's like, Kelef, which the Hebrew word for dog. He's a Kelef. He's just like going through, he's just like, whatever. Parpar. Butterfly, So it's just like, oh, cool. And we also learned in Jubilee, those of you that study with us in Jubilees, we also learned that, in the garden, all these animals spoke. They spoke in the same language, which no wonder. I mean, it's not really a big shocker considering Balaam's donkey talking, right? As soon as it said his mouth was her mouth was opened, and then she could speak. And it also says in Jubilees that their mouths were closed when man left the garden. And the man gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for the man there was not found a helpmeet for him. And Yahweh Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man. And he slept, and he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. Like, this is how it really happened. This is where woman came from, And the rib which Yahweh Elohim had taken from man, he made a woman, and brought her unto the man. And the man said, "This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She should be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his woman, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his woman, and were not ashamed." All right, let's keep going. Sorry, my mouth is really dry. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh Elohim had made. And he said unto the woman, "Yea, has Elohim said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?" And the woman said unto the serpent, "We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim hath said, Ye shall not eat it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die." And the serpent said unto the woman, "Ye shall not surely die. For Elohim knows that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as Elohim, knowing good and evil." So, brothers and sisters, it's just like today, Did God really say to keep the commandments these days? He nailed them to the cross. He did away with them. He fulfilled them, so you don't have to. They're too hard. Nobody can do it. The law's a curse. The law's a burden. All these things that man-made teachings have taught is such a lie. And where does it come from? The same person. We know that it wasn't literally, it was, I think, Hasatan was literally in a snake. But actually, we did a word study before. I believe it was actually a dragon. And maybe at that point is when the dragon's wings was clipped. And that's what it says, we'll see here in a second that he's supposed to go crawling on his belly. So I think it was a dragon, a literal dragon in those days. But, speaking of talking animals, what we see right here, and the serpent said to the woman, "Ye shall not surely die." Did she say, "Oh, serpent or dragon, why are you talking to me? How is this even possible?" No, it's just normal. This is everyday business. Oh. So, again, yay, did Elohim say? Did he really say that? Does he really want you to keep this commandment? Or is he just hiding you back from your full potential? What is, unfortunately, our lost brothers and sisters in modern day Christianity saying? What's been taught? Faith, walk away from the law. Boy, there's going to be some sad, sad countenances coming someday soon. So it's our duty to sound the alarm, brothers and sisters. Sorry. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her man with her, and he did eat. You know, in the book of First Adam and Eve, it says that Hasatan actually made the tree, did some sorcery and made the tree look even more glamorous than it really was. Just to create that illusion and to allure. And so they ate, and the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of Yahweh Elohim walking in the garden of the cool of the day. This is Yeshua, by the way. This is Yeshua walking in the cool of the day. And the man and his woman hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh Elohim amongst the trees of the garden. And Yahweh Elohim called unto Adam, saying unto him, Where are you? And he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree whereof I commanded you that you should not eat? And the man said, Look at this, totally just passing the blame. He's like, whew. And the man said, The woman who you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. Not like I ate. But, you know, I ain't perfect either, brothers and sisters. I'm sure Adam was so frightened he didn't know what to say. He's like, she did it. And Yahweh Elohim said to the woman, What is this that you have done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And Yahweh Elohim said unto the serpent, Because you have done this, you are cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon your belly shall you go, and dust you shall eat all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. It shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. A lot of people use this for the serpent seed doctrine that, you know, Satan slept with Eve, and Cain was the firstborn of Satan's lineage. I don't believe that. I think it's just a... not a figure of speech, but just like when Yeshua rebuked the Pharisees, you know, he called them the children of the devil. I mean, were they like reptilian hybrids, or were they a figurative seed? Just like we're we may not all be part of the lineage of Israel. We may not be the lost 10 tribes, but we're all the children of Israel by faith, so it's a figurative, and it's a literal, seed, but, I'm talking about, it's not like a literal physical seed descendant, of these tribes, which again, I know, so actually I believe a lot of us are, especially those that live in the United States, but that's a whole nother story. I don't believe in the serpent seed doctrine that there's a literal half man, half Satan, species living on this planet. I just believe that he has, his children by his doctrine, and that's his seed. And, we're the seed of Abraham. Unto the woman, he said, this is where it came, women. To whom he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In sorrow you shall bring forth children, and your desire shall be to your man, and he shall rule over you. So there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, I've seen 5 of these, and I have never seen pain like this. I shared the pain, with my wife, like digging her nails into my hand when she was pushing. I'm like, what are you doing? But just seeing the straight agony and the shudder and the look in the eyes of like, I don't know if I can do this. It's just too painful. I'm just like, oh man, like you can do this, but like, man, I don't like, that's gotta be so tough, So I feel for you women, but listen, hey, we didn't do it. We didn't cause this. This came directly from Yeshua HaMashiach. And that's why also often in the scriptures, you see that these great pains are always likened to as a woman travailing in pain to bring forth children, because it's got to be probably the most painful thing on earth. I'm sure that there's some torture methods that would be, more, but how long it's drawn out. I know some veteran women that on their fourth or fifth child, or third or fourth or fifth child, they're like, oh yeah, labor pains, it's out. But those first couple children, oh yeah, you ain't getting out of it. And well, some women get out of it with technology these days, and what's that stuff called? The anesthesia, what's it called? Oh, I forgot it. My wife, the last two, she did all natural. And, wow. Why can't I think of what that stuff is called? What's it called? Okay, somebody in the chat help me out. All right, I'm phoning a friend. Epidural. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what is wrong with me. I couldn't remember the name. Yeah, epidural. Man, oh man. In any case. What's going on, everybody? Who's out here? Sister Camilla. Yeah, my mind is exhausted. You're right. I'm almost finished with chapter 3, and I'm gonna wrap this up. Yeah, thank you. All the epidural comments are coming in now. I totally cannot believe. I am looking at chat now. CN073. What's going on, Sister Mystery Lover, Windfeather, Lynette H, Eric Paget. Good to see you, bro. Thank you, all the moderators, for all you do. I appreciate it. David Clark, Leia Live, Razor Queen. Yeah. Lynette Moody, Aaron James, Scotty Sly. What's going on, bro? Good to see you all. David Shearer, Timothy Graff, Shofar. Sorry, I can't be doing a shofar right now. Yeah. Got it. Okay. Let's keep going. But so he commanded the woman, your desire shall be to your man, and he shall rule over you. Now this is long gone. I mean, no, there's quite a few blessings of equally yoked couples I've seen in Torah where the woman understands this. But unfortunately, the world we live in, this Jezebel desire, this desire to rule over the man, is so rampant. It's people are conditioned to it. You see it in movies. You see the role reversal in movies. You're seeing the woman act as the man in movies, and the man act as a woman. You're seeing, not that there's wrong with female, heroine type of movies, but you're seeing these women take on like military roles and just acting like a man, and well, no wonder that women start to want to act like a man, and for a lot of us, we have spouses that won't take a look at this whatsoever and find it offensive, and boy is it a nightmare. So I feel for you. I really do feel for you, all you brothers and sisters out there that are that were married and then came into this understanding, and your spouse didn't change. Wow. The verse that a man's enemies will be they of his own household. Don't I know it? Genesis 3:17, and unto Adam he said, because you have hearkened unto the voice of your woman, and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for your sake. In sorrow shall you eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns also and thistles shall bring forth to you, and you shall eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of your face shall you eat the bread, till you return unto the ground, for out of it you were taken, for dust you are, and unto dust shall you return. And Adam called his woman's name Hua, Eve, because she was the mother of all living. And unto Adam Also, and to his woman did Yahweh Elohim make coats of skins and clothe them. And Yahweh Elohim said, Behold, the man has become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. And we will be waiting for this when we go through those gates. And we see this near the river of Chai, the river of life. I can't wait, brothers and sisters. Therefore Yahweh Elohim sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubim, and a flaming sword, which they turned every way to guard the way of the tree of life. So, if you just joined us, this Torah portion goes to chapter 6, but I've got to stop for tonight. I've got to rest. We will pick this back up either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday this week, and also time to be determined. Maybe sometime around noon, I'm thinking, one of those days. But I'll try to make a decision by Monday so that you have at least a day heads up if it's Tuesday. Which I might do that because I might want to take the rest of the week to study it for the next portion and what we got going on for Friday. Next Shabbat, we're also going to take another break from Jubilees. There's a passage of scriptures that jumped out to me the other day, and I really want to go through it line by line with you because it really describes us. If you want to get a heads up, it's Isaiah 46 through somewhere in the 60s. I don't know where I'll finish, maybe 61, 62. But if this doesn't describe us right now, if you really pray about it, read it beforehand, if you want to get a heads up, man, there's just so much there. And I really just think it's so important that we just talk about it. So next week, instead of Jubilees, we're going to be talking about Isaiah 46 through, I might even start at 43 and kind of skip over 45 just because it stops and talks about Cyrus and whatnot. And it's not really relevant. I might even skip 44, but 43 is important, and then 46 through 62-ish. So, and then what else? Yeah, and if you hadn't heard, Brother Alan Horvath passed away. I believe it was on the last day of Sukkot, and Alan was very special to me. And actually, if you haven't seen it, if you knew Alan and didn't get a chance to check it out, we did a little tribute to him yesterday, and yeah, it was just good. It was a good gathering. So to end tonight, I'm going to play one more song from Alan, then we're going to pray, and then we're going to end this, and we'll see you probably Tuesday. I'll let you know, but probably Tuesday. I'm going to pick my other favorite. Yeah, this is my other favorite. Oops. Yeah, here we go.
When you're down and worried, lift your hands up to the sky, and He's glorified. But when you look to the world, well, there ain't nothing you will find but emptiness inside. You've got to hand your cares over to Jesus to get satisfied. When I was down and troubled, I found out just how many friends cared about my life. Then my problems doubled, and I filled up with discouragement. I broke down and cried. Yeah, but when I took my cares over to Jesus, I got satisfied. You gotta take your cares over to Jesus if you wanna get satisfied. Hey, he took me in his arms and he held me tight. He said, son, don't you worry, I'll be right here by your side until you're sure you're satisfied. Now I stand here as your witness to the true and the tried. You got to hand your cares over to Jesus if you want to get satisfied. So when you're down in trouble, lift holy hands up to the light, and he's glorified. Don't look back on the world, 'cause there ain't nothing left to find but one bad disguise. You got to hand your cares over to Jesus to get satisfied. Yeah. Hand your cares over to Jesus if you want to get satisfied.
I love that song so much. Yeah, you know, it's funny, interesting that that song says Jesus, but you know, even Alan grew. One of the things that he was really known for was proclaiming the set apart, the Kodesh name, Yahweh and Yeshua HaMashiach. And you know, for those of you that weren't with us on the tribute, you know, it was actually because of Alan that I started doing live streams. He actually gave me the idea when he was mentoring me, and I just got a lot to owe Alan. And I don't know why I'm still such a mess. I should just be so happy, you know, knowing where he is now. But I just didn't use time wisely with him. You know, we had some arguments and we separated. We went different ways, and you know, we made up, but it was never the same. And I never called to check up. I didn't call to check up on him. See how he's doing. I was just so busy. Anyways, I'm sorry, brothers and sisters. Alan was a great teacher, and a servant sold out to Yahuwah, washed by Yeshua HaMashiach. So there's no need to weep, but to have joy. And, let my little interaction be a lesson. Don't let time, don't let busyness get in the way of following up with loved ones. I mean, we live in such an amazing time. You can just take this little thing and just call whoever anytime, just like that. Like, oh, dare me for not calling him. And he withered away of cancer. Anyways, I'm going to be doing a lot more going back at Alan's studies, and going to be putting those here on this channel. So, brothers and sisters, I love you very much. Shabbat Shalom. And again, we'll finish this up with part 2 probably Tuesday afternoon, but we'll see. Let's pray one more time. And as Alan would say, let's bow our hearts. Oh, Father, Abba, Yahweh, we just come before you in Yeshua's mighty name. And we thank you for Yeshua, first and foremost, your word, our salvation. We thank you also for the ability to gather like this in these last days, just all throughout your earth. And we just again thank you for someone like Alan, who was proclaiming your name over 10 years ago when nobody was talking about it. We know that this was from you. Talking about Torah and Shabbat and all these things while we were just still asleep. We just thank you for him. And just keep him in Abraham's bosom until that day so we could see him again, and all of our other loved ones. We thank you for this Torah portion, and we thank you for this Shabbat. We look forward to it and pray that we can all get some rest and to focus on you. And as Alan would say, let us pitch our tents with you tomorrow, or now, in Shabbat, and which means to just focus on you, to be with you, to have our minds wrapped around you. But all the cares of everything else out the window. Shabbat is yours. We are yours. We love you. Bless you. In Yeshua's mighty, mighty name. Amen. All right, brothers and sisters. Hey, thanks for joining. And again, we'll finish this up here probably Tuesday. I'll give you a notification. And thanks for joining me. And we'll see you shortly.